Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to another episode of Cigars and Whiskey, the podcast that discusses love, relationships, sex, and dating from a male's perspective. I'm your guy, Ron Coe, and I'm joined by my guys, White Star GB.
We're shaking.
And we also have super producer Corey Cool in the building, Cool University.
What up, dude?
Big shout out to everyone tuned in on Instagram, YouTube. Please remember to share so we can get more people to tap into the conversation. We have a great show for you guys tonight. Tonight, we are drinking Puncher's Chance Kentucky Straight Bourbon, and we will be discussing the Corny guy, also relationship performance reviews, and we'll discuss an article that came out on social media, a research article speaking about millennials, men under 30, that are having less sex because of social media, porn, and them feeling like they don't need women anymore.
Damn, that's sad. Sounds sad already.
White Star GB,
What's up, man?
how was your week, man?
My week was good, very good. Yeah, staying busy at work. Everything's cool. Had a little downtime, so I was able to watch a dumb movie that came out. Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear came out.
I seen the
Yeah.
preview for that.
Yeah, it was on a free movie website that I kind of frequent every once in a while. So I
you
watched
didn't go
it
to
at
the
home.
movies to see
Nah,
it?
I ain't going to movies to see that. But an hour and 30 minutes of dumb comedy horror. It was fun.
It was funny.
No, it wasn't funny. It was corny, but fun.
Okay.
It was corny, like it was like campy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it was great to see Ray Liotta again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just because he passed about a year ago.
He did pass away.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So when I seen him on camera, I'm like, all right, I'm committing to this. I didn't even know that he was in it, but once I seen him, I'm like, all right, I'm watching him. And O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube's son, was also in it. The actors fully committed to the corniness and the campiness of it.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of a less funny Harold and Kumar Goes to White Castles.
Gotcha.
But listen, if you ain't got nothing to do and you smoking something and you drinking something and you got an hour and a half, I recommend it.
All-time favorite comedy.
All-time favorite comedy. Oh, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna Get You Sucker.
Mm. Wow, I'm gonna get you sucker.
Yeah, it's my favorite. There's too many jokes in that. Too many
No,
heads in that.
it's a lot of
too
jokes,
much in
but
that.
it's
It
a
launched too many careers. It's older, but the jokes still, like when Shorty had the cramps and she turned into a monster.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like it's so corny, but it was so good. The nostalgia kind of carries it. How about yours?
I would have to. It's a couple of movies that come to mind.
Mm-hmm. Name them.
I'm thinking Harlem Nights,
Yeah,
Bingo,
I'm thinking-
bingo.
Coming to America.
easy. Yeah.
I'm naming Eddie Murphy movies.
Right.
One of my favorite movie.
Right.
One of my favorite movies of all time is Class Act.
Okay.
Class Act
Okay.
is one of my favorites.
I'm not mad at
You
that.
we named a lot of white movies though. Did you used to watch the Lampoons and all that, and Camp Candy, and even like the
Yo, when I was a kid, probably most of the movies that John Candy came out with, I would ask my parents to take me to the movies to see.
big John Candy fan back in the day, right?
But
Uncle Buck,
Uncle Buck,
yeah.
definitely. But National Lampoons, the Christmas joint,
all day.
yeah, I could watch.
Yeah.
Those
Rodney Dangerfield joints, you know what I mean?
Going back to school,
Right.
Yeah, for
Cool,
sure.
you got anything, man? What's up, man? You a little younger than us. Don't hit us with the don't be a menace.
No.
That's one
So,
of my joints too.
Yeah.
favorite movie of all time.
Corny movies, funny movies, comedies.
Ace Ventura is always good to
Ace
me.
Ventura is always good.
It's always a funny one to me. The house parties. The first
Always.
one. The first house party possesses a nostalgia level so high that I don't know. It's like it almost makes me want to cry every time I watch it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we can never have that again.
One is the best, of course, but they could have did without 2. And 3, I thought 3 was dope.
Did you watch the new one?
No.
You?
I heard it's terrible.
So
I heard it's terrible too.
So many people have told me that it was terrible that I have not. But I almost want to watch it just because everybody says it's so terrible.
Can we do homework now? Can we? I'm almost let's all watch it.
Let's just watch it and
this
get back
week,
to it.
And then next Friday we'll get on and we'll give a review on it.
Oh yeah.
All right.
We'll do that.
Can you commit to that? Cool.
Yeah, I could do that.
You got an hour and a half. Put some bullshit.
Yeah, I could do that.
All right, so let's do it.
Okay. All right. Again.
Oh, my fault. How was your week, my boy? Come on.
Oh, my week was cool.
Good collar, big
cool.
boy.
Last week we got on. We had some technical difficulties, so
Bullshit.
my week was pretty much trying to sift out what went wrong and trying to correct it. And we got a slow start tonight because we had to still figure some things out. But cool, just happy to be here. Be back on the mic.
That's what's up.
And just have a good time and drink some good whiskey.
Oh man.
All right.
What are we drinking today?
We are drinking Puncher's Chance Kentucky Straight Bourbon. All right. Of course, distilled in Kentucky. 45 ABV, 90 proof.
Yeah.
$40
price point.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to a new liquor store. I've been, because we've been doing this show for a while now. I got to kind of switch up spots. So I've been going to this new liquor store, and the bottle kind of attracted me. I like the black on it. I like the tigers on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of was attracted to it because of the shape and the packaging. So that kind of drew me to it.
Yeah.
I had a couple of swigs of it. Respectable bourbon.
Yeah. Definitely
it's not overly sweet, which I really appreciate.
You're absolutely
there's a
right.
little bit of a light bitterness to it in the aftertaste that I'm kind of respecting, and it reminds me of an Irish a little bit more than a bourbon.
I get what you're saying. Like your description, very on point. Not an overly sweet bourbon. Pretty smooth. Got a little tingle on the tongue.
Yeah. But
not your traditional bourbon where, those sweet notes are like sugary or anything like that. So, so far so good. All right. So we'll let it marinate and we'll get back to it and we'll let you guys know how it fares.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. So let's jump right into it.
Let's do it.
All right. If you've been underneath a rock, you don't know that Michael B. Jordan just actually dropped Creed, which is tonight. I don't want to timestamp the episode,
Absolutely.
but his first directorial debut.
Absolutely.
And he starred in the movie.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So
third installment of the Creed franchise. That is the offspring of the Rocky franchise. The first Creed or Rocky without Sylvester Stallone in it, which was like no one's even talking about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It took Rocky from slide. We'll take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm hearing good things about it. Jonathan Majors is the antagonist in it, and he's the hot
he's the
Hollywood
guy
right now, black guy right now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So of course he's on a press run for the movie, and there was a young lady that was on the red carpet looking to interview him.
Yeah.
And basically she was on a previous platform with another female discussing him, and she made a mention that she had history with him. She went to high school with him. And basically the host, I think, of the other platform said that, oh, he's a nice guy. I think he's a nice guy, nice corny guy, right? And she didn't necessarily call him corny, but she did say, well, when we went to high school, we did make fun of him because of his name.
Yeah.
Because, you know, his name is Michael Jordan, and of course he wasn't Michael Jordan. And then also he used to walk around with his headshots.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, of course, I guess Michael B. Jordan heard what was said about him, and then he addressed it on the red carpet.
Absolutely. If I give a little more context on L'Oreal, she's been on Love and Hip Hop. She's a acquaintance or friend of Angela Yee. She's in like her circle, and she has a podcast, Bully and the Beast, that she does, and she's also part of a morning show. So she's underground, but she's working.
Gotcha.
She's definitely not as successful as Michael B. Jordan, but I'll throw it back to you.
Okay. All right. So, the definition. Let's jump right into, the definition. Like, what would you consider a corny or a corny guy?
I feel like when I really had to like step back away from it and really try to like come up with a definition of what corny is. Honestly, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm gonna say corny is the furthest away from a criminal element, almost like a street guy. Like if you're not street, the furthest you are from being street, you're corny. To me. So that's how I would describe it. If you don't have any kind of eggs to you or not, because hip hop culture used to be a little dangerous. Even if it was safe, even if you weren't straight A student, and if you listen to hip hop or you were of the culture, you at least looked the part. And I feel like when you didn't do the work to look the part, you were considered corny. Am I off? I'm going to you, cool.
Oh, man, that's not fair. So these guys want to give me a microphone. I don't normally. I just want to press record. That's all I want to do. Okay. What'd you say? All right, as far as, well, I think that's where the conversation started. Right? What we knew of corny growing up was, you didn't look like us, you didn't talk like us, dress like us, do the things we do. Now I kind of feel like corny is it's a personality thing. I think corny is how you react in certain situations. Right? That's how I kind of like to characterize corny at this point. Meaning like, how you stand up or lack thereof in a particular situation, I feel like can make you corny. That's kind of the way I look at it now as a grown up.
Of course, being corny is subjective, but
of course, yeah.
Do you think I think it's different. From a woman describing 100%. What a corny man is,
100%,
versus another dude describing what a corny dude is.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Because, for me, I would say like it's a dude that may try too hard, that comes off unauthentic, right?
Okay.
But it could be a dude that could be considered kind of in demand to women, right? He might be flashy, he might be loud and boisterous or whatever.
So too much,
too extra or whatever.
Okay.
I would consider that to be corny.
Okay, I can get with that.
Women may gravitate to him, to that dude, right?
Yeah.
But I think it definitely is subjective. But going back to this particular situation, right? When you look at this whole thing, right, I think this is the starting point of where, and I'm going to be specific, where black women pick the wrong dudes.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
This is the beginning stages of it, right?
Yeah.
Because if you just take into account this whole situation, right, she kind of co-signed what the other female said. She didn't necessarily call him corny, but she basically was giving information on like, oh, you say he's corny, but yeah, he used to do this in high school or whatever, right?
She added context to the
exactly, right? So for him to bring his headshots to school, but he's on his purpose, right? And if he was bringing his basketball and he was always playing ball or some shit like that, or focusing on that, or basketball or football, he probably wouldn't be corny. But the fact that he was focusing on acting, right?
Yeah.
And in the black community, that shit is being in theater and being like trying to be in entertainment, not even entertainment, but in the craft of acting, in theater.
Right.
That's not the sexiest thing for the black community. Girls don't gravitate to that. Now, if he's playing basketball, he's playing football or some shit like that, I think you would hear something much different.
Or he was a drug dealer.
Absolutely.
That's kind of why I have to push back on what you said. You said that being corny was trying too hard. I feel like being corny is not trying hard enough to fit in. I felt like you're labeled as corny if you're on your purpose and you're not trying to fit in with the main crowd. If you kind of like exile yourself, or if you're off doing your own thing and you're not really going with the in crowd, like we've seen it from like even like 80s high school movies, like even like the Breakfast Club, there was a corny kid there, you know what I mean, and he didn't try to fit in with everybody else. I feel like that's the corny kid. Which one are you talking about though? You talking about the outcast?
The outcast.
Not necessarily the outcast. I'm talking about more like the nerd.
Okay. We're not gonna go deep into the movie,
right?
But you're talking about the dude that was the outcast, though.
I'm talking about the nerd.
The nerd.
The outcast was the dude that had problems with his father.
That flipped out.
Yeah.
Okay. But then there was another kid that played in Weird Science, right?
Yeah.
And he was trying too hard.
Okay.
To fit in.
All right.
To try to kick it, be cool with everybody, and try to, make it like he seemed like he was cool.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So when you say someone that doesn't try hard enough to fit in,
yeah, he doesn't assimilate to the actual culture.
I think that's defiance. And I think as far as people are concerned, they dig defiance. Like if you're not trying to be with the crowd and you're trying to go opposite the crowd, that can be considered cool.
I don't think so. Especially when, in our formative years in the 90s, it was like if you weren't trying to be hard, trying to emulate, a drug dealer, even if you went to work after school, you almost had to simulate, that was the aesthetic, drug dealer chic, you know what I mean?
All right,
if you was like not really getting the haircut, not really wearing the fashionable clothes, not wearing, you know what I mean, not keeping up with the times.
No.
Not keeping up with the lingo.
Was corny.
That was corny.
Then.
If you tried too hard, you almost succeeded back in the day. Maybe you crashed out and you went to jail. But if you tried too hard to fit in,
you had your moment in the sun. Yeah, you might have had your time.
But he's talking about the aesthetics.
Yeah.
Right? Trying to look the part, right?
Right. And act the part.
No. Once you start trying to act the part, you become unauthentic, right?
So when you go from looking like you selling crack to acting like you selling crack.
Looking like
that's
you selling
jacks.
Crack is not,
acting like you selling crack is faking jacks.
No. Just because you
jacks.
Just because you no. Okay, just because you wear fresh clothes or you got brand new clothes doesn't mean you're acting like a drug dealer. That's just fashion. That's what's popping fashion wise, right? That's
tomato, Ron.
No.
Tomato.
No. So if all right,
if you're dressing like you have disposable income, you're trying to act like that's the drug dealer aesthetic. That's drug dealer chic.
No. Okay. But
cool.
No.
I heard the grunt. What's up?
No. It's like fashion is fashion. Right?
Okay.
So let's just say at one time, right? Dudes gang culture became very popular. Yeah. People were wearing bandanas and shit, right?
Yeah.
Now, dudes were incorporated. People were incorporated.
People were crip walking.
No, they were. They were. But there were certain people. There were certain clothing companies that integrated like the flag inside jeans and shit and shirts.
Good luck. Yeah.
Good luck. Mm-hmm. But now, if you wear the clothes, that's one thing, right? But now, if you start throwing up gang signs and be like, "Yo, I want to be a blood or a crip,"
wearing the clothes is corny. Wearing the gang signs.
Yeah. Oh, in that case,
maybe in that case, right? But if a drug dealer has jewelry and he has fresh clothes or the freshest sneakers, or he wears J's and he wears a gold chain, if you get that, like are you fronting? That's what's popping though, fashion wise.
But you're not corny. Because you're trying to assimilate. Now, you're trying to assimilate to the culture. You're trying to be down with the culture. I feel like you're deemed as being corny if you and the guy who's wearing all those clothes are in college. He's his college roommate of an engineer. Both of you guys are in college. Both of you guys are studying to be engineers. One guy is going to the parties, wearing the clothes and doing everything, assimilating to the culture, and the other guy isn't getting the shape up. He's not worrying about that. He's on the chats. He's like doing his own thing. Mm-hmm. You know, they might both be successful, but one might be deemed as being corny because he doesn't fit in to the aesthetic. They could be both on the same trajectory in life. Is the thing. Both be in the same classes.
That fit-in thing ends in 12th grade.
All the shit is high school.
Right.
Go ahead.
Even this whole thing we're talking about, these were girls' opinions that were in high school.
Yes.
Right? So, once you leave the confines of your high school, there's a place for everybody. And a lot of the time in high school, there's a place for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If
be with the corny crew.
Maybe. But, I think it boils down to him taking a shot at somebody, when he had the opportunity to, right? And I think that's where this whole thing kind of comes into perspective, right? Is him taking that shot at her at the time, is that considered corny to you? Would that be
on the red carpet?
A corny act? Yeah, him taking that shot at that moment. Because does he prove them? Does he prove them right in that moment?
No. I don't think it was corny because he didn't say to her, "You call me corny, I'm not speaking to you," right?
He definitely conducted the interview.
Yeah, he brought it up.
The time, yeah.
He brought it to her face to face. He ain't say nothing slick behind. He brought it directly to her, right? Gave her the interview, and it was over with.
Absolutely,
right? So that would make, I think that might have messed up even more. She probably would have appreciated if he flipped that on her because she could go back and say some shit about him.
Well, he kind of gave her clout, and I have to disagree. I feel like that was corny. Myself, I would have acted like I didn't even know her. You remember what you used to go to high school? Like, nah, I don't remember. I can't put the face with the name, but what's good though? Like, I would not even acknowledge that I even knew her.
That'd have been a good way to go about it.
No, that would have been a good way.
Yeah, that's 100% how I would have handled her. Even if I seen her coming from a mile away, heard her fucking voice coming down the line, I knew I was ready. If she tried to latch on to me and act like just because you here, me and you were here in this moment, and you trying to piggyback onto knowing me and you're not getting that.
Jalen Rose not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, I ain't going to be able to do it. Nah, I don't even remember you, yo, but what's good? I'm happy you're here now, but what's going on?
I've been everywhere. I be traveling.
Yeah. I don't remember you. I can't put the face with the name, Mom.
Say I remember
what's good, though? You know what I mean? Like, straight up and down.
Yeah, that would have been a good way to go.
So, I'm not going to call the man corny, but he couldn't really control his feelings. It really did affect him.
Okay, now, which brings it back to my point of how you stand up in a particular situation, right? Mm. Like, that could have been deemed corny to many because of how you reacted when you had the upper hand, right? But like I always say, you can't judge a person for how they react.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think he reacted crass or anything like that. I
Nah.
think he was pretty.
Well, people that are pro her are kind of saying that he was a little sassy. Like I'm hearing a little backlash coming from that side, and people are doubling down that people are saying that he handled it corny. I don't think that he personally handled it corny. I felt like being corny would have been denying her an interview or anything like that. He gave her time, and he only addressed what she brought up. So I felt like he handled it good for him. I would have personally handled it different, but hey, what's the difference between being corny to a guy and to a girl? Because girls don't think Michael B. Jordan's corny. Girls think that he's a sex symbol. He's voted the sexiest man alive, right?
Well, see, it kind of goes by what Core said. This is high school stuff, right? But I think women's what they deem as cool, or what they're looking for in men, a lot of the characteristics are high schoolish in a sense.
Like what?
Right?
Elaborate a little bit.
How cool you are, how much edge you have.
Okay.
Edge. And you got to think about if you probably put the guys that she dated against him, there's probably a drastic difference. She called him she kind of gave context on the corny comment about him. But if you probably look at her dating history and the niggas that she dealt with, they probably don't match up to this dude.
She's probably the most successful out of all the men that she dated. You
right?
know what I mean?
And the thing is, right, a lot of the times, the men that are the coolest, I'm not saying there's not exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
When we get older, they might be unemployed, underemployed, or incarcerated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of them are not flourishing. You know what I mean? Now,
right.
A lot of times that corny dude that is in his books or is on his purpose or whatever, they may be they the odds of them being successful are higher.
Yeah.
Right? And take it a step further, the female that she was talking to on the platform, she doubled down on it.
Yeah.
She doubled down on it. And then she went even further, not taking accountability.
Looking for clout.
Right?
Yeah.
And she said, well, anybody that dates white women is corny to me anyway.
Right? We're not doing
but
that.
now I'm not making no excuses for him, but
she crashing out now.
Okay, but all right, he dates white girls, right? Now these
she
are the
is
girls.
currently dating a white girl. He was just dating Lori Harvey.
He's around. He's
either way,
he's having his way.
Opportunist.
He's having his way.
Either way, right? He went from a black girl to a white girl,
right?
But then some shit hashed up from high school, where this is how girls saw him,
right?
He wasn't cool to them. Right? He wasn't cool. So the white girls probably wasn't like, yo.
If he went to the white girl school, he would have cleaned up.
Maybe. Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the difference between black women and I think.
They don't fit the street aesthetic. And let me move the conversation a little bit further from high school to marrying age. Now, look at Ciara. She dated street dude after seemingly street dude from 50 to Bow Wow to
street dude though.
All right, Future. I mean, had a baby with Future, but she got married to a corny dude, Russell Wilson, and now you're seeing the younger girls almost praise her. Summer Walker had a Ciara's prayer. You know what I mean? Almost worshiping her. That's the way to get out. Find a corny dude with money, be happy, have your family.
That, bro.
That was the Ciara. Cool. Wasn't that the Ciara prayer?
It might have been something along those lines, but
do corny dudes make better husbands?
Please let me find a corny dude.
Do corny guys make better husbands?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
They do.
Maybe.
I think they do.
Maybe.
I think
because what's corny? Because so I'm saying this is what I mean. At this age where we are, not gonna go on record and say how old I am exactly, but in this phase of my life, what is considered corny at this
A
point?
nigga who ain't make no mistakes.
That's considered corny?
I don't know.
You said that don't make no mistakes.
That hasn't made mistakes?
made any mistakes.
What you mean, like no jail?
It's past.
Oh. I don't know. I don't, like I said, corny at this point. I just feel like,
Because if you were living a certain life back then, 9 out of 10 times you crashed
you
out.
made some mistakes.
If
there.
you survived, you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So once you done had your kids with them dudes and all that, and you've been on your own for like a while, or you're dealing with a dude who don't want you or got multiple women, you're looking for the guy who fits the part, who's going to be in the house, and guys that's about you, and guys who were on their purpose earlier in life and seemingly got shit put together, and you know.
I don't know.
Guys that are more tame.
Because I think I might have to speak for the corny guys. Because see, I think I was the borderline guy. I think I had the fashion part down, but I wasn't doing any of the things that could have put me in harm's way.
Me too.
Might have stood around and seen some things. Ooh, that's looking a little harmful. It's a little hot over here.
Yeah.
Move over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now I think it leads to now me having a purpose. I kind of had a purpose at that point. I was into music more than the average Joe when it came to, my hobbies or my interests.
Right.
Or whatever. So now it translates to me just being super. Oh, look. Sorry, guys. Hello. Hey. Peace.
Hey.
So yeah, but I think, I pride myself on being a good husband because I'm all into it, right?
Yeah.
It's my biggest interest on being. So I don't know if that's considered, corny or not,
Can't call it.
I think corny niggas is a little more tame.
Okay.
They a little more tame. Like, yo, dudes that are not corny, they might take a little while longer to tame. You might have to, you get in a relationship, you might have to deal with some infidelity. You might have to deal with certain shit. Until that dude gets older and tired, and he's out the pasture, and he's like, I can't do this shit no more. Right? And then now he a good nigga.
Yeah.
Right? Just by default. Because he's just old and tired. But some dudes are just, even in their youth, they're into monogamy. They're into their woman and only their woman. They don't need much else. You know what I mean? The guys that probably had the discipline to put their head down, put the blinders on, and focus on their purpose, they could focus on their life with their wife and their marriage and their family.
Let me ask you a question. Both of you guys are raising sons. At the end of the day, would you want to raise your son to be a corny guy?
I think it's changing the perspective, like the perspective of like what is considered like a corny guy
Or the stigma?
Changing. Yeah, I think it's changing.
Okay.
So being smart, being like, we live in a world of a lot of motivation. So everybody's talking about work on your purpose. It's kind of universal now. It's probably dudes that hustle, that sell drugs. It's like, yo, work your shit up to a key, scale that up. They using business terms and shit. Like, they trying to run it like multi-million-dollar corporations. So it's you're not gonna be corny, for, in that sense, focusing on your purpose. Yeah, like.
But it's all said and done with you going to visit your son, second year in college on campus. You looking around. Like, yeah, son, you're kind of corny. You happy with that, or you like?
I'm okay with that. I would be
You're
okay
okay
with
with
that.
I think I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I think this is the thing, though. I feel like him being my son, he's going to see elements of what you need to be hip right? To be on point, on time.
Yeah.
Right? In the know. Right? Because it's like, you know, he's funny because he loves the ladies already. Loves them. And when I tell you, this dude be smiling all up in the ladies' faces.
Boy.
He's on. So this is the thing. I think knowledge could save our kids from being corny. Right?
Yeah.
Because the thing, because the premise of corny is different, right?
Yeah.
When I was coming up, the person who played video games all day, that automatically just made you kind of corny. Now more kids play video games than they outside, so that automatically kind of changes things. You know what I mean? Grades are different. You know, the person that was just super in the books, you know, sad to say, but we might have categorized him as bookworm type of dude. Maybe not corny, but he's a bookworm. You know, whatever the case was. Now it's like, you know, it's not viewed that way. You know, if you got some smarts, it's almost like, okay, you know, you're gonna be in a different room. You're gonna be in those different rooms where, you know, if you the smart dude in the room full of shorties, you're gonna win.
These days, you can't be stupid.
Yeah, you can't be.
You can't be stupid. Back in the day, you could be good looking and stupid as shit.
Stupid
you
don't
get
really
mad
work.
chicks still.
Stupid doesn't really work like.
Nah, it doesn't work these days.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I know my son is. I know he's gonna be cooler than me. He's way more social than I was. Like he,
cool kid.
when we were walking from school, everybody's saying what up to him. He's saying what up to everybody. Like he know everybody.
I can see that.
Yeah. So
what's up?
Yeah.
So that's corny, man. That's corny. Hopefully that wasn't a corny conversation.
Yeah. I think it all boils down to we have to kind of change the narrative of what a quote unquote corny guy is. Well, because it's gonna basically if the way it's set out now is like you making dudes into crash dummies. Like they're gonna crash and burn.
They're gonna crash and burn. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it's all about clout. And honestly, it's not even about word of mouth anymore. It's about who's seen it. So you got to get the camera out while you're doing this shit. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
If you love a young man or you love a young woman, you will kind of like steer them towards the corny route. I
see,
say.
that's why we need to cut that calling the corny route.
It's got to be called something else.
It got to be called something else. Yeah.
You know, or the straight. You know, like kind of the straight and narrow.
Straight and narrow. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with the straight and narrow, especially in these times. Because listen,
not even close.
If you're out there listening, crime don't pay. You're getting caught. Yeah. You're getting caught. Like
they see it.
It literally.
They watching the YSL case. They're watching the YSL case. Like it's literally dissolving right in front of us. It's dissolving right in front of us. They're seeing people.
Did the crime pay though?
Crime
it didn't
never pay. Crime never paid.
No, because even if you were the kingpin and you thought that you were gonna survive over some kind of loyalty, you saw all the people up under you just fold. Like it's a straw. It's like it's a building built out of straw.
Yeah,
it's either gonna blow over or burn on fire. Like it's not even gonna be nothing. Like there's nothing there. Okay. So,
all right. So that's that. So we'll move on to next topic. Marriage and relationship performance reviews.
Yeah. There was a thread on Reddit where a man had did a performance review on his wife, and then he published it. It gained some traction, and then the Breakfast Club spoke about it, and they did like a segment on it, and had people kind of like commenting on it, and I kind of wanted to feel, what you guys thought about it. So basically, a performance review for the people at home is you take something good and you take something bad, and you base it off of a period of time, and you provide that to your partner for I guess improvement and for gratification. For, like you're thanking them for the things that they did good, but you're kind of giving them something that they can improve on so that nothing kind of gets out of hand.
So it's not like like a corporate type of.
It
You
is
know how
corporate.
you like you know how when you work for a corporation, they give you like an annual performance review and something like that.
They're gonna give you 2 good things, and then gonna slide in one thing that you can
You
improve
can work
on.
Okay.
Even if you were perfect, they're gonna give you something that you could have worked on, because they can't not, because that's their job is to find something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's the corporate structure. I feel like in a relationship structure, it could be anywhere along the lines of I'm so not gonna do that, because anything I say is gonna be misconstrued.
Good idea. Smart man, you are. Smart man.
But you could give something good and you could give something bad, and I feel like it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm not opposed to it. I've never done it because I don't believe in rocking the boat. I'm kind of good so far.
That's my
Right.
That's my problem with it, is the fact that most men are gonna be like you.
Yeah.
They're not going they're not going to venture down that road to create some type of turmoil in their relationship.
If we're doing it, we're doing it. If we're doing it, we're going to do it. If we're not going to do it, I ain't got no problem with it. But if we do it, because I know she's not going to hold no punches, so I might as well
I think that's why I don't agree with it, because I think it's going to be one-sided. Like, it's going to be one-sided. Like, all right, in most relationships between men and women, men just have to accept what a woman is saying to them. Like, yo, you're this, you're that. All right, I'll try to work on it. I'll be better. Women or what?
I'm not doing that.
Okay, you can say that.
Like, Ron, well, nah, that's not a you thing. If my wife came to me all of a sudden and was like, yo, listen, I don't like the way that you dress. I want you to start dressing like Steve Harvey. I'm going to be like, you know what? God damn it, I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I can put my foot down on certain things. Certain things are unreasonable. But if she comes to me and be like, yo, you know what? Yo, I need you to cook dinner at least once every 2 weeks. You know what? I could take that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay. It starts with something small, and then it comes with, yo.
It snowballs.
Valentine's Day, you held it down. I really appreciated what you did for us. You went above and beyond. We ain't asked you for nothing. We ain't throw no hints, and you click all the boxes.
This is the thing.
It's good and there's a bad.
I think it works up until or unless you hit that secret insecurity that the other person already has. I think that's where
with
it kind of
their shortcomings or
with
what?
their shortcomings, right? Like if you happen to touch on something that, number one, I guess it depends on if your significant other is like a defensive kind of person in the first place.
Women are defensive.
Not all.
Well, doing this exercise kind of puts the guard down, doesn't it? Because it's an exercise. We're all doing it, right? It's paint by numbers. It's paint night, right? Like, we all having fun. Like, right? We going out and we doing pictures of Jay-Z and Beyonce. We talking about the shit that you could do better.
Nah, that shit's business. That shit's business.
Okay.
Nah. Are you opposed to it? You feel like, I feel like it's a good tool pre-counseling. If you're having a little bit of problems,
right.
Your bumping has a little bit, before you go out and you go and get outside help, I feel like this is a helpful tool.
Well, look, you know what?
This is a tool for you to help yourself.
I could use myself in this situation. So, not too long ago, well, maybe about a year ago, kind of like right before I had my son or whatever, my wife had come to me and said that I was falling short on kind of like the romantic side of things.
Mm-hmm.
I in return got defensive. Now that I look back on it, in hindsight, it's 2020, but I got defensive. And I got defensive because at the time I thought that I was doing my damnedest to kind of hold down everything else, and that was like the one thing I missed. You know what I'm saying? So, but in return, I did, and I have tried my best to kind of work on it a little bit. So, you
got some flowers, but them dishes were still in the sink.
No. Well,
I ain't gonna do everything now.
no, but I think it's, But also, I realized that my wife is not that hard to please at the same time, right? So it became a game to me at that point where I'm like, all right, I don't even want to put my secret out there, but I'll put a reminder in my phone that'll be like, all right, Siri, on whatever day next month, remind me to buy flowers.
Mary Man Jewel right there.
Boom.
Yeah, listen to that, fellas.
Forgot all about it, went on, boom, Siri pops up next month, buy flowers. I'm like, you know what? Let me go do that. You know what I'm saying? And then, don't get me wrong, the flowers literally laid on the nightstand, never made it to a vase or anything, but that's not the point. LaShawn, it's not the point. The point is that, you
threw a dig.
Yeah, I was like, dig. That was a late night, too. I had come, I'm like, I'm going to get some flowers. You know what I mean? I'll wake you up midnight. Here. Flowers never made it to a vase. Literally died right there on the nightstand. But,
shit in there.
Wasted money. No. But from there, I want to say, if people could look at it how I looked at it later and not how I looked at it initially, it could work, but it's whether or not we ourselves are able to accept, the criticism as well, I think.
See, theoretically, it could actually work, right? If both parties are willing to accept what's said and be accountable.
What party's going to hold back? Who's going to hold back more?
Men.
Why?
Because men don't want to upset the environment.
And men want to appear to be low maintenance as well, too, right?
I think men, for the most part, are low maintenance, or they're more logical, right? And when I say they're more logical, everybody knows that there's no perfect person, there's no perfect relationship, right? So were you going to be doing performance reviews forever? Saying the same shit.
You're not going to need it.
Year after year.
Yeah.
Like, certain people are who they are, right? And I'm a very optimistic person, right? That people can change, but, all right, my thing is this. Certain things are like, they're not even worth the conversation, right? It's like, all right, your husband don't clean as much as you want him to, so you got to clean more or whatever, right? Yeah. Or
what's the nigga pissing on the toilet seat?
Yeah, like it's shit like
but that's something you gotta bring up, man.
No, I
sitting there taking piss 4 o'clock in the morning and get that hot piss.
I get it, I get it, but like, you're not gonna. We already know there's not gonna be no perfect woman. They need to accept there's not gonna be no perfect man. Right?
I feel like this is a tool for. It's almost like a supplement for relationships.
For women to shit on.
Not necessarily, no. For relationships who don't communicate enough. A lot of people don't talk.
I'll agree with that.
I do agree with that. And I was going to say that if you communicate, you don't really need that.
Yeah, but some people need help. Like some people need help with vitamins. Like some people have a perfect, can get all their vitamins from their food. You know what I mean? But some people need to supplement. And I feel like this is a perfect supplement for couples who both don't have strong communication skills, kind of hold things in and then let it blow up. This is kind of like diffusing the bomb every couple of months or every year. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be every week. It doesn't have to be every month. But I feel like if your relationship is having problems with communication, scheduling time to talk and scheduling time to communicate, to both give positive reinforcement and a little bit of negative, can be very helpful before you get to the counseling stage.
No. Theoretically, again, it sounds great.
Right.
It sounds great. It sounds great theoretically.
Right.
But when you think about it, most of the time, what are men going to complain about?
Sex.
That's pretty much going to be
80, gawk.
80 to...
Listen, the gawk only had one gawk on it.
Yo, women.
Yeah. You weren't crying last time.
The biggest gripe that you're going to get from men is probably going to be sex.
Sex, more sex.
No man is gonna say like he's not gonna say to his wife like, yo,
I took a whole honey pack and you fell asleep on me.
Yo, no man is gonna be like, yo, you don't clean that well.
Nah,
You don't, yeah. I don't like the way you take care of the kids. Like, yo, why the fuck you buy this at the grocery store? Like, I want this, that, and the third. Like, yo, most men are not gonna do that. That's like, all right, she didn't buy. I like cookies and cream ice cream, and she didn't buy it. She bought vanilla because the kids like it.
Chocolate
like, yo,
chip.
Like,
no,
yo,
hold on. That's a big deal though. If you like cookies and cream and they buy chocolate chip, that's a felony. Cause you need the cream.
I get it, right?
Pause.
I get it.
Pause.
He's been so flagrant tonight. Oh my god!
I get it.
Hands
Right?
up, don't shoot. Pardon.
But men are gonna say it. They're not gonna blow up about that.
Yeah.
They're gonna let it, like if you keep doing that shit and you be like, yo, what about me?
You know,
If
men are gonna be like, this is a sample, baby, yo. I like the way your booty been looking lately, yo. That's the positive. Yo, your butt been looking real good in the pajamas you just bought. You got them Skims last weekend, the color match. I thought you was naked when I came out the shower, but I ain't getting no pussy. Dudes is always gonna complain about sex.
That's
like,
what it
always
is.
Gonna be the easy. It's the easy go to, and it might keep dude in the house a little bit more.
But
and shorty, if you communicate, if you have that hard conversation in an easy setting,
all right,
you know what I mean. You could gas up a little bit, but tell her like, yo, you falling short, little something.
But like,
might
what
keep
about
big homie in the house?
what about
more.
another thing? Another thing could be like, what happened if the significant other, whatever side, maybe gain some weight, and the person could complain about
man.
who's gonna
That's
complain?
or make
nuclear
more money,
bomb. We talking
or
about
make
the
more money.
skirmish.
Who's gonna complain about that?
Ain't no one do that.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe even
Is a man gonna complain about that?
is it? No, he's not going
He's
to
not.
do that. He's
Fellas, you
not
better
going
relax.
to that. You gotta relax. But I'm just saying that's on the table. That would be something on the table.
What I'm saying is that it's going to be one sided, where the woman is going to take a huge shit on the dude,
Right.
and he's not gonna say much.
What's a you shit? Give me an example of a you shit.
He's make more money.
You need
maybe?
to make more money.
More money.
You gaining weight.
Well,
You're not-
well, then,
Like, yo,
You're not doing
I
what
don't
you gotta
like
do
the
with
way
the
you
kids.
dress. You don't do enough work. Like
the kids.
you don't do enough caregiving for the kids. You know, like yo, right?
Well, hold on.
You don't cut the lawn. The lawn.
Caregiving for the
Whoa,
kid
what's gonna-
is
all right.
imbalance.
No, all right,
Go ahead.
that's fine.
The lawn's
but
not
then
done.
when you say
Well,
like
well,
yo,
The lawn's not done.
when you say yo, I'm not getting enough sex. Well, I'm tired. I'm cooking. I'm watching these kids. I gotta work. And why you? What are you talking about? Like, is it gonna be accepting? You know what? You're right. More head, more sex for
Yeah,
you.
you know. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you're right. You don't get enough sex. No, it's probably not gonna be like that. It's probably gonna be like, well, I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta do that.
That's when you're like, yo, can I get a maid and a second wife?
All right, so maybe. How about this? Maybe you got to say this. Maybe you have
This is
to.
the beauty of not doing it live. You can leave this in though, but go ahead.
You have to. Maybe you have to start with, like a small print when you go to do this.
Yeah.
No rebuttals. Right. I think.
Elaborate.
Meaning, like, kind of what Ron said, right? Yeah, I can see it literally going the way he just said it. Is where you say this, yeah, I'm tired, or whatever the case was. But no, it's no rebuttal. Whatever I say is just, it's just it.
Yeah.
Either you work on it or you don't. I'm just putting it out there.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
For
I don't want to hear why.
yeah, I don't want to hear the whys.
Yeah.
If you know, and I think maybe that can at least help the awareness get out.
Yeah.
Without it being a back and forth. It's just,
Yeah.
okay, before we start, there's no rebuttal, right? There's no back and forth. There's no.
Yeah. So if she had pussy surgery 2 weeks ago and you're like, yo, listen, yo, dog, I don't know. It's been a week. I gave you a week to recuperate, but I don't know. Like, you ain't healing the way I thought you were going to heal.
Well, this is the thing. Okay.
So she can't say shit?
Let me use
Like,
myself.
my nigga,
Listen,
my shit is in the cast.
I'm going to use it. Am I doing it again? Oh, it's just my hand. Well, at least they know I'm here. They know I'm a person.
Shout out to the hand.
You know, the hand. I
Yeah.
should just be the hand from now.
Yo, what bad guy with the, it's Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget
So
had the hand.
I'm going to use my situation again.
Shoot.
When my wife gave me the criticism that she gave me, the first thing she said was like, "All right, don't go out tomorrow and, you know,
Yeah,
buy
don't
something nice."
have a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, don't just go do it because I said to do it. And, I'm like, what the fuck else do you want me to do at that point? But I think that is something that, without the rebuttal, right? If you take the rebuttal off the table, tomorrow you don't have to just start, giving me more sex. But, it could be a note that that's what needs to be fixed. That way, I understand that you have a lot of things going on. You know where I stand and whatever. Because that's what she told me. She was like, when it came to the romantic type of things, like I never miss stuff, but in the interim,
I've been accused of that.
I could be better. I could have been better. But the first thing she said was, all right, like tomorrow, don't just fucking go out. Here she texted me literally right now. Thank God we're not live. Jesus Christ, I popped up.
Bring on some flowers,
Uncanny.
nigga.
Get some more flowers to die on the nightstand.
Ladies need to understand that if you give sex, we could give a shit about all the other stuff. You could be a bad cook. You could have a dirty house. You could have you could leave the kids on the bus stop until 7:00 at night. If you having sex on a regular basis and you giving that dude sex, he'll overlook a lot of shit.
Yo, can I give the cheat code to the lady? If you have a performance review scheduled the night before.
Oh, yes.
Give a lap dance, a little gawk, and then hold them down. You know what I mean? You're passed with flying colors.
Yes.
Flying colors. And that nigga will agree to anything you say. You know what I mean?
Bro.
We going to Maldives on vacation this fucking summer. That nigga agree to anything. But hold the nigga down. And men, don't take it personal, guys. Please. Like,
that's the
whatever thing it is, whatever she says, take it with a grain of salt. Understand the way they think is a little bit more emotionally than we do. Understand. Do not react emotionally. Honestly, the reacting to the shit might help us as well too. Just shut up and take it.
I think most men do. That's the thing. I think most men do. So I think it will benefit men because it'll make them better.
Yeah.
Right? But you kind of got to take it.
Yeah.
Is it going to, I think, like I said, I think the only thing men will verbally say out of their mouths about their wives or their girlfriends is that if they're not getting enough sex.
Regular
right?
Guys, yeah.
So they're not going to get on her domestic capabilities, child rearing, none of that shit, right? Because that's going to be like attacking her womanhood, right?
Yeah.
So you can't do that. But it's like, I could use more sex.
So you're saying the gloves are still on, no matter what.
For men, the gloves are still on.
Don't jump out the window.
Don't.
I agree. Yeah,
don't.
I agree.
Don't.
Yeah. But like I said, it's a good tool to have in your. If you're getting a lot of complaints about the same thing, and you're about to feel like you about to recommend to
give me a complaint. Though. Give me a complaint.
You're not being affectionate enough. That complaint. You're not helping around the house enough.
Okay.
That complaint. Like, it's almost like you have to disarm them with logic, and this almost helps with the logic. They have to give you something constructive that you do, but you have to give you something real, And you could talk about it. No, you can't have a rebuttal. You can't have a back and forth on it, but,
Is it wrong for me to say that sometimes people should be accepting?
Of course.
Like if
personality wise, like dressing, like if you met your man wearing clothes and you hoped that he was going to grow out of it in your new peer group and the new people that you're hanging around with, and their husbands are dressed in a certain way and he doesn't dress a certain way, and certain things like that, you have to eat that. That's a personality thing. You cannot change a person's personality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want to wear that shit. Like, you can't force him to. That's overstepping. You know what I mean? But if you're picking up as a woman, if you're picking up a couple of extra hours at work, or even if you're not, and you just need a little bit of help with the kids, or you need a little help with the cooking, we need just a little help. Like, he can handle the basement, or he can handle the second floor, or he could do like the third bathroom. You could present that.
All right, but what about the expectation of him like doing it on a regular basis? Like yo, is he gonna turn into Mr. Clean or Mr. Mom? Should you expect that? Should women expect that?
Well, yeah. At the end of the day, the man is the head of household, and we all agreed that, right? I don't know. So if there's a real problem, we have to fix it. So it's either like, okay, it's too much house for you, it's too much for you, you're too busy. Let's pay for someone to come in once a month to clean for us, or let's do like something. At the end of the day, you have to solve the bigger problem.
Got you. Yeah. All right. So, I'm not sold on him though.
Oh yeah, me neither. Me neither. I'm okay right now, but if I need one, listen, I never publish it like homie on Reddit did. That nigga jumped out the window. That's clout right there. You looking for clout?
Yeah.
Bugging.
If you could see this is another thing, and we can move on from this. Is that and I hate to keep going man versus women, right? But I just have to, right?
Are you pro man or pro woman?
I'm pro both, right? I'm pro for the betterment of relationships between men and women.
Good
right?
save.
So what I'm saying is that
so you're pro family.
Men don't forget, right? Like I don't forget what my wife does. No.
Please,
I don't
tell them that. Faking that we forget is our superpower.
No. What I'm saying is that I don't forget.
We need that shit.
I don't forget that my wife works full time.
Of course.
That she raised the kids well. She cooks. I don't forget that. Right? So I'm not going to. I know she got a load already. I'm not going to throw some extra on her load. Once you do this for me or whatever. Or if there is some type of deficiency, I'm going to remember. I know, like, yo, she's doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Right? Women tend to forget. They forget sometimes. Okay. You could be like, yo, I'm tired as shit. I worked my ass off today.
All right.
Can you do this? Yo, I just said I'm mad tired, yo. Mad tired. I need to take a nap. Well, I think this needs to be done or whatever. Like, you don't. How do you feel about this? You don't think it needs to be done right now?
Right now?
Well, yeah. Well, if you're asking me right now, then, like, I'm saying it right now. Like, I just said, like, 10 minutes ago, I'm tired as hell. I need to take a nap.
Yeah. That has to be respected.
I'm just, I think just women, they forget more. Like, they're more in the now. They live in the now. Like, it doesn't matter what happened before. It's like, what they need at that moment.
We
feel me?
We gotta hope that both parties are in it for the betterment of.
No, I don't even think they're not in it for the betterment.
No, I'm not. Well, listen. In all cases, it could be either side. Isn't just stuck in their ways. Because also too, I think a lot of people have to consider that a successful relationship or marriage is always changing. Is always
evolving,
and taking new, new.
It's a dance.
It is a dance. New responsibilities are always going to be taken from, especially now in this age where people are constantly, like you said earlier, wanting to better themselves.
Yeah.
Always looking for what's next, and then introducing children into, which is a whole nother, especially multiple children, right? Dynamic. If you can, I always say, if you can walk into a relationship knowing that tomorrow is probably not going to be the same as it is today, then something like that kind of, I don't want to call it like a progress report, but that would work then, because you understand that the confines or the dynamics are changing. And like for instance, my wife might be used to me getting the kids off the school bus, but one extra radio show here, extra radio show there. Now
shit's changed.
Something has to change, but now we have to make an adjustment.
Right.
Now, if she's like, well, look, hey, I can't do it, whatever the case was, it might be, but we still have to find a way to do it, So I think
Absolutely.
that's kind of important, just understanding that no relationship is going to, and the ones that usually stay the same, I don't know, they kind of have their own issues at that.
They're gonna have issues.
Right. How old is your baby boy right now? Cool.
So he is tomorrow the 4th.
Tomorrow. Today's the 4th, right?
Oh, we're not time stamping the episode.
4th.
Yep.
Sorry, time stamping shit. Sorry about that.
Nah, that's all good.
Cut that out. Get in there, cut that out. If I can find the timer, I'd figure it out. He will be 11 months.
Wow, you're coming up on the year.
Yeah, we're coming up on the year.
Right. What are some of the things that you felt like you could give new fathers advice for just putting themselves into it, like things that they could volunteer to do?
Well, a buddy of mine just had a kid late in life. Well, not late, but 30s.
How old? 30.
30s.
Okay, all right.
30s.
And it's his first kid.
His first kid in his 30s. For me, I had to tell myself that it is okay to sit down for a second, right? And to be present. I think a lot of us are focused on, well, just as humans, either what happened to us before or where we're going. And a lot of people don't spend the time in the moment, to try to be active fathers or whatever. I have a lot of friends, who are like, yo, overtime, I got to take it. So overtime, I'm taking it. I'm kind of like, all right, I get that point. I get that. Right. But, you have a kid.
Especially if wife ain't working right now. She,
maybe, listen,
she down.
That's not the point. The point is, I don't know if a kid is going to remember all the overtime you worked
not.
versus.
Not even close.
They're not. If you're taking overtime, you're not a good parent. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, but I feel like, so for this particular new parent that I was talking to, I was like, look, Christmas, birthday, holiday, want to go away, need a little improvement for the house or whatever the case was, need a little extra clothes, whatever the case was, take that overtime. But understand that, there are going to be moments that are going to be very, very, very important. And, the taxes are still going to rape you anyway, right? So it's kind of like be as present as you can. I think as a species, we just have a real issue being present. So that would be my advice.
Good advice.
And me being a new father again, I realize how many things I took for granted when my daughter was this age versus now having a son, and paying more attention to this phase of his. My daughter, it's like I feel bad. I almost don't even remember.
Because you didn't realize that they were going to grow that fast.
I was I was too busy running and gunning and whatever. Yeah. And now I consciously took a step back and said, okay, you know what? I can create a little bit, but, really focus on. And what's so crazy is he responds to me differently than my daughter did at this age. Mm-hmm. My daughter didn't really fuck with me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she did, but it was kind of like, Mom, where's Mom at?
Yeah.
Him is kind of like, yo, he could kind of like chill with me. I don't know if it's a boy or girl thing, but I can say I definitely spent more energy with him in this baby phase. When my daughter got a little older, then it was like, okay, you can move and groove. We out. Gotcha. We in these streets. Gotcha. But yeah, be present. Be as present as you can.
That's the thing. People need to realize, and new parents need to realize, is that kids are very low maintenance monetarily, but they're high maintenance when it comes to time. Yeah. And that's where you need to spend.
Facts.
Going nowhere.
You can pay the bills.
Okay.
Right. You can pay the bills. Listen, you can pay the bills with your regular.
Yo, they don't care about them shoes.
They
don't care about them clothes. They don't care about a lot of stuff.
They don't. They don't, bro.
Yeah.
If you could pay the bills with your regular pay, if you got to do overtime to pay your bills, then you spending too much money, right?
That part. Right.
So, yeah. And there was another point I was going to make. As far as before we move on to the next thing, men and women, men need to realize this, is that in a relationship, when it comes to doing better, you need to work up. Most women are trying to work down. You need to work up, though, right? Where, like, if you're the type of guy that is progressive and you want to do better, you want to do more, right?
Absolutely.
And you realize that your wife's, the shit that she does is heavy lifting already. So you want to take some of that load away from her. So you work up to let her work down a little bit. So you take on certain responsibilities. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm competitive in that sense. Where it's like, yo, oh, word, you need me to get the kids? You need me to cook? You need me to do this? I'm gonna try to do all that shit.
Yeah.
And I worked, too.
Absolutely.
Worked today, all that shit.
Absolutely.
I want to see if I can do it.
Yeah.
I always want to test myself to see if I could do some shit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So,
and you want to gain favor with the children. Yo, daddy's dinner is better than mommy dinner, right? Like you wanna, you know, a little healthy competition. You know what I mean?
I cooked dinner this week, and my daughter was like, "You should cook dinner more.
Nice.
You should cook dinner more."
Hope she didn't
What
say
you
that
make?
too
What
loud.
you make? What you make?
Salmon.
All right
Salmon?
now.
Yeah.
Salmon.
Right now.
Some cilantro.
Size you made.
Cilantro, corn, some
You,
and some potatoes.
you got busy.
Right. Good for
Yeah.
you.
I made dinner this week too. I made baked ziti.
Oh, right?
Yeah. With a little Texas toast on the side.
Oh,
Okay.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Shorty was loving it. You know
As they
what
look
I mean?
over at me, like
Nah. You know.
I made some nuggets and
your time,
salad.
Playboy.
goddammit. With a baby in my hand,
I
I
made some chicken nuggets.
one-handed.
Fries.
One-handed.
Yo, next week,
listen,
next Thursday, I'm going for some breaded chicken skewers.
Oh, really?
Almost like cubed up chicken, breaded, fried, almost like fried chicken, but like on skewers with like a nice, you know, sauce on the side
Gotcha.
with some mashed potatoes.
So look,
I'll let you know how it went,
let me know. Bring a plate.
please.
So
Okay.
I'm a grill guy. I like the grill stuff.
Yeah,
You know, me and the stove. It's like, ooh, you know, it's a little.
only so long you get away with that, bro.
I gotta move to a hot place.
Yeah, so long you get away with that. 'Cause I've been running that shit into the ground. You know what I mean? What else we got, Ron? Oh, before we get into our next topic, this candle is smelling amazing, man.
Yeah.
Man, what we-
Shout out to Moods by Michelle Rose. We did a partnership with her, and we have our own signature scent,
Yeah,
tobacco vanilla,
fragrance.
exceptional smell. You can go to her website, moodsbymichellerose.com, and Moods, Moods,
Yeah.
and Michelle with one L, Michele. Rose, ROSE.com. Check it out. It helps to support her. It helps to support the podcast. Please pick it up. I'm telling you, best smelling candle on the market.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. So we'll jump into our
Yeah, bring it home.
final topic of the night.
Bring them to church.
New study out, right, saying that 60% of men under 30 years old are single due to social media. They're saying that watching a lot of social media, they're watching a lot of porn, and they think they get a lot of their needs met without having to go out and dealing with women. GB, did you go through the article at all?
I skimmed through it, and it was alarming to see like how many young men are falling susceptible to comfort, like almost like a soft life, like a soft social life, where everything has to come to you. You know, everything comes to you.
What's a soft social life like?
Soft social life is when you do not have to interact with real people, where you don't have to be nervous to talk to a girl when you're picking up a pizza, when you're picking up when you're picking up your food, when you're in Walmart and you pass by a pretty girl in the aisle, you know, like places where people meet, like people meet outside, people meet in places, people meet in real situations, you know? And a lot of times it doesn't work out. Sometimes it's a first date, sometimes it's a couple of text messages, sometimes you might get a wrong number. She might don't really like you, but just give you the number to not be uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But all those are reps to meeting real people and to finding your wife and to having a family and to, you know, moving on and being a part of society.
I get what
But I feel like with the soft social life, it's almost like putting your social muscle in a cast and you're atrophying it. When your food comes to you, when you play video games online, when you do have sexual urges, instead of going to Macy's or going to Bloomingdale's, getting a nice fragrance, getting a nice shirt that fits you nice, getting some slacks, going to a club or a nightclub, getting together with some friends, going to the gym, going to places, you're just jerking off.
Yeah, life.
Just jerking off, dog. And then you're tricking on the OnlyFans girl.
It's crazy because I'm not gonna lie. As he was running down the list of getting
somebody that's their whole
lineup.
No.
No, but I think about. I'm not gonna lie.
Friday night to me.
No, I think about as he was running down the getting it, go get your cut, go getting
right.
Getting something. It's almost sad that a life like that almost doesn't exist anymore. I just started thinking about being, I had my lady already, but it's still going out, still, feeling like you had to go out in life.
In the
it was
active
like
warehouse.
I remember
on a Friday getting that fit. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I remember being 12, 13, just trying to get to Jamaica Avenue to with $20 in my pocket, but we're gonna try to talk and bag a number. How many numbers can you get? Remember that whole competition going to Roosevelt Field? Yo, if I can,
always, everybody
getting
came
rejected
out the house with a pen.
Yeah, you got rejected.
A big pen in your pocket somewhere, and a couple of pieces of paper, a couple of napkins or something. You take down a couple of numbers.
You
that
lose
was the goal.
some. You lose some.
You get one dub on something. Yo. Can I get your social security number and your ring size, ma'am?
No, but I think about. I'm just saying what it was. Just to me, it almost struck a chord. And I'm like, damn, life like that is
nostalgia.
I get it. I get it. My only thing is this, right? Why do you always act like it's one sided, right?
Because men are always responsible for everything.
Right.
They are responsible, but the way men and women interact is different, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times, females don't even give their phone numbers anymore. They give their social media.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So
it's like, all right, I'm with you right now, right? And I'm speaking to you right now, but we're going to leave and I got to interact with you on social media. I can't even call you directly.
Okay.
So it's not just the men. It's men adapting to the way things are.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
Because women will be in your face and then they'll go from face to face to run back behind the computer or behind the phone.
The same
to interact with you.
Same way, it's easier for a woman to give a man her social media than a number because it's easier for a woman to ignore a man. You could go through, once you got her social media, you go through her whole friend list. Now you got a fucking Rolodex of bitches. Now you can DM all them.
So dirty. So dirty.
All I'm saying is that the universe is expanded. It made shit easier. It made things harder on one side, but it made things easier on another side. So take the good with the bad. It's not all bad. That yes, women are becoming a little bit more recluse in a way. Like they're not giving their phone. People aren't getting. Like I remember when I was 15, I got a home line for my birthday. That's all I wanted. I wanted my own phone number so I could be on the phone jonesing. You know what I'm saying? That was it, and that turned up. You know what I mean? But it was like now it's like
That's a fire gift, by the way. That was smart. That was very smart.
That was strategic, dog. I needed that.
Very smart.
I was upstairs jonesing, but yeah. Put in the work, fellas. But the work is different now. Now the work is digital. Get your computers puting. You know what I mean? Put the work in, fellas.
Yo, shout out to Cam. Shout out to Cam, who was literally 20 years ahead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, we thought he was crazy when he said I get computers puting. Yeah, but man, oh man, is that not in the world right now?
Absolutely.
But it does suck though. I do feel like, see, we're in a privileged space. We're talking from a place of privilege.
We're not really in a privileged
no, we are.
space.
I'm gonna tell you why.
I know people that are of our age that they're trying to adapt to this new way of socializing, and they're having trouble, right? So if somebody that is outside, that's willing to interact face to face with people, right, and they're trying to interact socially on social media, and they're still having trouble, like they're double dipping.
Well, but this is the thing. I feel like if you had trouble on one side, you're going to have trouble on the other side. Any of these people that you speak of, if they were rocking and rolling in the past life, probably still rocking and rolling.
Not necessarily.
I'm sure.
And I'll tell you why, right? Because what happens is that when I meet you in public, you could be a 6, right? But then when you go back and you leave me and you go on Instagram and mad people liking your pictures, you think you're an 8 or a 9.
Well, we live in the catfish culture. That is to
either way, but
that is that is part of the game. We live in the catfish culture. Men act like we have more than what we have as far as financially. Women trump up their looks to work different angles and filters. I seen something. These new Snapchat are crazy.
Crazy.
I saw a thread where
crazy. It was a chick that showed. She was like, these filters is crazy. She's like, this is what I look like.
Yeah.
And then she showed. I was like, wow.
I accidentally used one of those the other day on a video. I was like, I didn't notice I did that.
How you look though?
I looked mad.
You like Shmuel Mo?
I looked mad beautiful. I was mad beautiful, B.
Huh?
I was mad beautiful, B. But I do feel like I'm going to double down. I think that we are speaking from a place of privilege based on having a large majority of our life. Well, for me, I'm going to speak from my particular age group, which I'm not going to tell you. But my particular age group, I lived literally half of my life, no technology. And in the other half of my life, more technology came out than you could even imagine.
Yeah, Jetsons.
Like MySpace didn't even come out till I was already. Yeah, it was literally like that.
Yeah,
I literally went from Flintstones to Jetsons in my particular age group, and I feel like we, for the most part, adapted because you can't let it change you though. Well, it does.
Use it as a tool, but you can't get lazy. Know what you know. And apply.
But those skills, like I said, the skills that I've acquired.
You're always going to have a first date. Anywhere you look at it, you're always going to have a first date.
Right.
Shirt got to be clean. Collar got to be, everything's got to be right. You got to smell good. The same principles still apply. If you don't get a haircut before your first date, you're slumming it.
But these are things that you had to learn from in-person interactions.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids now are learning from, non-personal meetings and stuff like that. I've never met you. I'm just meeting you for the first time or whatever the case is, We just went off of what we saw literally in real life, and then we learned the rest about you. Now it's almost like I learned everything about you, and I see you in real life last.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, I don't know, man. I think as a person who, I work with kids, and I see that how important social media is to them. I do see a lot of personal skills that are just missing.
Yeah.
But they're sharp in a lot of other ways, though. You know, they are very sharp as far as, you know, technical skill. They are sharp, but yeah, they're missing a lot as far as just, how you smell, like, you know, stuff like that. Like, you know, my brother would literally be like, yo, where you going? Like, you stink. Like, don't walk out this house smelling like that. What are you doing? You know?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Get right. We'll get a little cool water. You know what I mean? We'll put something on your dresser.
Let me ask you a question though.
What's up?
Right? What's the difference between the woman that says, I got this, I got that, or whatever, I don't need a man, I'm good by myself?
What's this and that? Give me a little context.
I don't need a man to provide for me. I provide for myself.
She got her own spot.
I got my own spot.
After college.
I'm good.
Yeah, okay.
I got my career. I got my money.
Really?
Huh?
Is she really good? She
I
not
don't know.
really good. You as a man gotta know she not really good. You gotta, as a man, you gotta know that, yo, she's putting up a front. She's like, you know what I mean? When you see lions, you see the female lions without the mane. They like roaming around. They do the work. They holding it down. They look like they cool, but they need big homie around. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could look like you're holding it down, and a real man could look at and see like, yo, this is where I can fill in the gaps. This is a good lady. You need a woman that can hold it down without you, almost. You know what I mean? You don't want nobody to need you. You know what I'm saying?
Don't?
I think
most men
need.
Need you in like not in like dire straits, like you need me to save you or some shit like that.
But they need you to take them to the next level to really find that companionship, someone to, you know what I mean, grow old with. Like when I think about like my wife, like I think about, you know, like now I think about, we're talking about our next stages and all that. I'm thinking about like our retirement, you know what I mean? Like how I could put her up, you know what I mean, where she don't gotta work too much longer. You know what I mean? And how we're gonna retire, you know what I mean? And then, you know, I'm probably gonna go before her, you know what I mean? And then how she gonna live the rest of life without me, you know what I mean? My goal is to make her life and my children's life comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It might, I don't know how it's gonna come across, you know what I mean, on like YouTube and all that, but you know that it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But you want a partner that could hold her own, who is educated and could hold down the gig and is responsible and all that. Like, you don't want like a liability. You know what I mean? You want an asset. You know?
I get you.
So that's what I'm coming across with.
But my point is that the same way, I guess women sometimes say they don't need a dude.
Yeah.
Dudes may not say it, but it's like, yo, all right, if I need to release, I can go on the internet. You know, I don't need to go out and spend money on females to try to date them to have sex.
Then what?
I don't know. I'm saying, like, because
what happened to your seed? What happened to your last name, big nigga?
Well,
what happened?
Listen, some
just
people
good? Like,
no, a lot of people just don't
good with your name dying with you.
A lot of people don't think that far, and I think right now I think right this moment we are in a phase in life of a bunch of motherfuckers that don't think that far ahead, that are literally thinking for the moment, the absolute moment, and what feels good right now with no ramification of, you know, it's like when LASIK surgery came out, you had a bunch of motherfuckers run and get LASIK, right? You had some that waited and said, all right, I'm gonna see where this goes, you know. But it's like that. A bunch of people who want instant gratification.
Right.
And, you know, I find myself even, you know, not necessarily with the porn stuff, but wanting things faster, you know, not wanting to wait, or not, you know, in a lot of aspects. So I can only imagine.
Amazon ain't bringing it tomorrow. You don't want it.
Listen, I don't. Yeah. You better get it together, Jeff.
Word.
I think, first of all, like,
somewhere else.
See, me and GB debate this a lot, right? Because it's like, he thinks I'm for the men and he's for the women. He's pandering to women. and I'm for the
Panda,
Jews.
panda.
Right? But a lot of shit that I'm saying goes for men and women, right? So, like you just said, like your name, your legacy. Both men and women, right? The job that you do, that you make money off, that whatever, them niggas not gonna put a statue up when you die or you retire. That shit serve that when you think about it, the only purpose it serves is for you to live, right? To get through life.
Wait,
right?
what are we speaking about?
We're talking about the fact that people's purpose, more or less, for the most part, the biggest purpose that they have in life is having children, is procreating. That's the biggest thing they ever do in life.
It sounds very insensitive to people who don't want to and can't, but yes, you're right.
I think most people do.
Yes.
I think they'll say to themselves as a defense mechanism, I don't want this, I don't want that, because they don't have it. Right? But like, yo, when you work at Geico, no shade to anybody who works at Geico. Like, Geico don't give a fuck
shade to Geico employees.
The fact that you put in 30 or 40 years and you retire from them, they not gonna care, right?
Like the little lizard pin, you get like a little lizard trophy,
right? Yo, bro, like it's not going to matter, right? And most people don't do enough in this lifetime to be like to have an impact on this world, right? The biggest thing that they do is have children. They procreate, right? Yeah. So, like, yo, what are we talking about when you say like, yo, I could do X, Y, and Z by myself? Like, what you're doing, your career and all that shit like that, it don't really mean nothing, right? When I think about myself, right?
As far as women,
huh?
When you say, what are you talking about? You're
women
about
and men,
women.
right? Me,
okay,
look,
right.
Like me myself, right?
Yeah.
I have a trucking company, right? Mm-hmm. The way I can impact this world is I can give people jobs and shit like that. Mm-hmm. But what if I don't get people jobs, and I'm working myself or whatever, right? Delivering goods and services or whatever like that. How does that impact the world, really? Right? It's not like I'm not a doctor, right? Where I could save somebody's life or whatever. That has impact on the world, right? I'm not an activist. I'm not saving kids or whatever, or teaching kids where I have an impact or whatever, right? I do something that's kind of like, I'm not going to say menial, but it doesn't really have too much of an impact, right? So when you think about it, if I can give somebody a job, help them provide for their family, it's cool. But if I don't do that, the best thing that I probably did in my life is have children.
Yes.
And making their life easier when they get older. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And that's
generational
that's the
wealth.
Reality.
Like, in what ways? Generational wealth.
Yeah. Making sure that the path, or they can get to higher highs and higher lows than I got. You know what I mean?
Generational wealth is,
cliche now,
exactly.
Right?
It is.
Exactly.
Because to be truthful, generational wealth could be knowledge. It could be having a child and having that child not have to worry where his food's coming from, where his shelter's coming from, where his clothes are coming from, to where his or her mind can focus on the things that they want to do.
Absolutely. Or it can be having a house that's paid for.
Having a house that's paid for to where, having some money to go to college. Not a full, tuition pay, but
let me take
maybe just
75% of it all off your plate.
Getting a little whip, right? Like getting just, maybe not even a brand new car, but a little whip. All right, there's something to get to where you got to go. And I think that is your piece towards building generational wealth, I think. I think sometimes we think generational wealth is, all right, I scored $200 million and now my kids and my kids' kids can live, but that's not all it, because if you think about it, each one of our parents, right, never forked over a boatload of money. But what they did...
See, that's the problem right there, though.
No, well, okay, but what I'm saying is, but what they did do is they might have just put some knowledge in your brain that stopped you from going to hang out
or gave you
some
good
knuckleheads, or fed you
No, this
enough.
is the thing. People think that generational wealth is like winning the lotto or something.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you're gonna get a lump sum of money.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Like if I start a business today, I'm not gonna start today and then 3 days from now I'm gonna get $1 million or something like that. Right? No. I might get a sell here, sell there. I make $1 here, $1 there, and it adds up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's how you build wealth.
So we speeding right now. Let's break it down. What we've said so far in the small doses for the young boy who's listening to us.
Into the mic. I can say that on the mic now.
That'll help, right?
Mm.
In like smaller doses, we telling them to slow down.
Yeah.
Don't be intimidated by women who seemingly have it together. It's always a need for a dude.
Always a need for a dude.
Right.
Because, bro, like, if you're not curing cancer or ridding the world of racism or something like that, for most of us, the most important thing we're gonna do in this lifetime is bring children into this world and raise them.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Your job, when you think about it, you may think it serves a purpose for you to make money, but how does it impact the world? Right. Yeah. The only thing that we could hope for is that the kids that we are bringing into this world could have a greater impact going forward. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because for the most part, a lot of us are just sacrificing our lives for them to live a better life.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of us need to understand, sacrifice. Yeah. Right. When it comes to, even when we're talking about generational wealth, right? Like, I'm just starting something for you to build on, to get to generational wealth. People talk about it like it's right there. Oh, it's right around the corner. No, it's not right around the corner. Generational, people live 70, 80 years. So generational, we're talking about multiple. We're talking about hundreds of years, right?
Absolutely.
Lasting hundreds of years.
Yeah.
That takes time. Yeah. That's built over time.
Right, because, young man, your one mistake can literally set you back or set.
Absolutely.
Let's say, say you have a child, right? And you go out there and you make a mistake, a silly mistake. And now you take yourself off the board 5, 10 years. You literally set your, you could have. I'm not saying it's a definite, but you could have set your family back that amount of years. Because
not even taking yourself off the board, right? Let's just say somebody's parents leave them a house.
Yeah.
They get that house. Instead of keeping it in the family to start to build on that and build generational wealth, they sell it. They get the money and they blow the money.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, that shit happens every day in
America.
America.
Trying to Google that black beach in California that they got awarded back. What was the name on it?
I think it's Manhattan Beach.
Okay.
I think it's part of Manhattan Beach.
Yeah.
Where the family had ownership rights to it.
Right.
And it reverted back to them.
Yes.
And
they sold it right away.
Yeah, they sold it right away.
Yeah. See?
Mm-hmm.
See,
What would happen in that position? Everything you know now, today, that's your people's. You're in charge of what decision gets made.
What's upkeep?
Do you sell?
What's upkeep on it? Because my thing about it is like, okay, initially, from day one, you got to figure out a way to keep it. So how expensive is it to hold it before you can think about
and how profitable
making
is it?
money? It might not be initially.
No. No. First of all, I could promise you, there's no loss, right? It's either a upfront lump sum or it's slow money over time, right? So if my property is surrounded by other people's property that's owned, you need me in order to utilize my shit because my shit is in the middle of your. Right. You're the outer. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So you could pay me to utilize my shit. Mm. Now you're not gonna give me $20 or $40 million, but you'll give me $200,000 or $500,000 a year for whatever amount of time that you want to use it. Right? But a lot of us are not willing to sacrifice. We're living for the now.
And a lot of people are fucked up when it comes to making that decision if it's 4 kids, 3 of the kids really need that money.
Well, also too, I think a lot of us have no clue of what our purpose is. A lot of us have no clue why we're here.
Men or women?
No.
When you say us,
Both of us. Both.
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 So black
Everybody.
people?
Everybody.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Everybody
I think,
feels like they're gonna be the greatest thing since sliced bread. They're gonna make $1 trillion.
Yeah.
They're gonna be the.
I think women find the next best thing faster, or have an ability to track down the next best thing. Like, okay, maybe they don't find their calling, but they find something that, at least.
Well, there's always motherhood, and there's always being a great mother.
A lot of times,
which is like being a great father is like
that trumps everything.
But what
bro.
a lot of people never find like, I have a relative, and I always ask, hey, well, what do you want to do? And like, I don't know, whatever just makes good money, and that's been their answer forever.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, that could be anything, you know what I mean? But you don't even know where to start. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have that kind of attitude, right, you'll always be chasing kind of the money part,
Yeah.
You'll leave good money for what looks like better money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have and then now with social media, the callings are skewed, and now, everybody thinks that they could be.
markets are getting saturated.
Yeah.
Things are, things is
it's
happening.
It's a cold game out here, man.
Yo.
To bring it full circle, the dating markets are becoming saturated. The same women that are available and who are practice women, because we've all dated women who are practice for the real thing.
What is a practice woman?
Talk about practice.
You gotta tell me, what is a practice woman, bro?
Practice woman is a woman that, you bag outside the club wearing that shit, wearing that. There's no way in God's green earth you could never introduce her to your mother. You want to bag her up, have her for a little while, show her off. You know what I mean? You ain't got no attention to her. You give her the girlfriend experience. You don't give her false expectations, because that'll be wrong. You don't make her feel like she's going to be the number one in your life. But you give her that nice experience. You put her in your life. You know what I mean? You might even blow out of town. You know what I mean? But, yeah. That's a practice woman. You know what I'm saying? but I forgot where I was even going. But for the most part, men need to be men and understand life is hard. You're not on the same playing field as women. We purposely make life easier. We skew life easier for women because they're not as physically strong as men. And they are more attractive than men. Mm-hmm. So they could get away with certain things that we can get away with. You have to just accept it. All right? Don't use that as a crutch. If you have a manifesto why you don't want to be in a relationship, you are an incel. Okay? If you do not like women, you are a misogynist. You don't have to love women, but you could like them, you could respect them, you could be around them. They don't even have to be your friends, but you could treat women with a certain level of respect. You know what I mean?
He think all these guys are incels, though.
I certainly do.
I don't think all these guys are incels.
Anybody who don't want hoes is an incel.
Can you define incel?
Yo, he be mad pro women, and then he'll use like, yo, you gotta,
me, nigga.
All these bitches or whatever like that. Oh, you gotta love hoes, right?
Don't think I'm gonna be on you. I am 100% completely objective to every last inch of my body. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, everybody gets treated equal, but everybody gets put in their place. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a use. Men are supposed to be not used. Like, listen, look, I've had bad experiences with women. You know what I mean? Does it jade the way I move going forward? Absolutely not. You learn from it. You learn to protect yourself. You know what I mean? but you don't give up and you don't completely recede. You don't go your own way. You don't get a passport and look for love overseas. You don't do certain things. You know what I mean?
What if? So you got to give it both ways though.
Okay.
GB.
All right.
Like that woman that has everything going for herself.
Yeah.
She don't want to get pregnant right now.
Bad habits.
She don't want to get pregnant right now. So
she doesn't.
She don't want. She not thinking about kids or anything.
She
like
has
that.
trauma. She has trauma.
Why does she have trauma?
She had trauma from her father. Most likely, didn't have the best relationship with her father, so she has issues there. Maybe her first boyfriend, didn't do her the way that
we all got trauma, GB.
Okay, fine, yeah, but men get better from their traumas. Women create baggage from their traumas. You know what I mean? Men, when they go through things and they persevere, we get stronger and we learn. Women kind of carry it with them. Nah, I'm wrong.
Somewhat.
Okay.
But I think sometimes it goes both ways. I think men, the way they move forward is based on what happened in their past.
Yeah.
So I can't just give a, say it's just one-sided and women are one way and they're affected by trauma a different way than men do.
Keep trying until you get through. Keep trying. Keep trying. Reinvent. Keep trying. Something ain't working, go the other way. If the internet ain't working, go outside. If outside ain't working, go to the internet. If the internet ain't working, just go to work. Like deal with the girl at work. Deal with something. Just work on your communication skills. Don't atrophy your communication skills. Don't go into a complete bubble where this study is talking about where men are just treating women transactionally on the internet at that. You're not even fucking real prostitutes. You just jerking off to them. You're like, come on, fam.
What? Okay.
Like, you a digital trick.
What are they talking about as far as social media, though? Like,
I'm thinking they talking about social media.
Like OnlyFans or something like that? Or
nah, I'm thinking they're saying Instagram, Facebook, and I'm saying YouTube.
Like,
I think.
What satisfaction does a man get out of that where he doesn't feel like he needs a real woman?
We're not there. We haven't grown up in that, you know what I mean? Well, we grew up in a generation where, like, we collected baseball cards and basketball cards and, like, comic books and all that. Mm-hmm. What if they just collect women on Instagram?
I guess you're right.
Right? Like, what if they just like, yo, I like this girl. That's my car. That's my car. That's my car. Oh, that's my girl. That's my girl. Like, nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it becomes poison. Like, when you don't see homie, that older dude.
I think every man wants a woman, though.
On the motorcycle, kind of, but now they're being indoctrinated to not think that they need one. That they could just have a digital one.
You really believe that everybody's been poisoned by the red pill?
It's getting there.
I don't believe so, bro.
It's getting there.
I think it's
not.
I think it's fault on both sides, bro.
Yes, fine. But men aren't allowed to make excuses. If you're a successful man, if you're a man in his 30s, launched a company in his 20s, worked all his way, and you got all that, when you need to be a little bit precautious because you are coming into a relationship with a lot of things and you are willing to lose a lot of things. But the red pill community is almost kind of putting every man on Drake's level. Like, you're not sitting on $1 billion. Like, you a manager at Walmart. She not taking nothing from you, fam. Like, it's okay to take it's okay to take a chance.
That's the problem. That's one of the problems, though. Because you'll put a price on everything too.
Oh, you got to be a capitalist, baby.
When it comes down to relationships between men and women, I'm not sure like that should be the end all be all. Like, especially for
So where
black
does it
women.
start?
Especially for black women. Like, yo, you're dealing the demographic, the man that you dig the most, financially, they're not in the greatest space.
There's going to be a trend in the next year or two of black women telling other black women to get prenups when they are marrying men. Black men.
All right, so be it.
It's
so
going
be
to
it.
start happening.
So be it. But I think there has to be some acceptance
People are committing to each other later on in life, and they are being more, and they're more successful in different places. And I feel like women are edging men out a little bit in the solo game. And good luck.
All right. That's they could be edging them out.
And I'm team daughters. You can hashtag that.
All right. Okay. So what do we? Give me some advice for these dudes, man, because we gotta set them up right.
Set them up right. Stay on your purpose, yo. I understand, fellas. I understand, yo. The dating sites, the apps, and all that. On everything is fly. Everything is cool. Yeah, get your profile right on that. Get everything right. You know what I mean? You got to work on yourself too. You got to get in the gym. Keep your haircuts tight. Get a good fragrance collection. If anything, they're not even a sponsor. I'm gonna give you free game. Scentbird, $20 a month. You get a nice vial. You know what I mean? It will last you 30 days. You don't even need the whole 30.
Is this how you get a wife, or you start having sex?
This is how you get out the house. I'm starting from like crawling. We're not even walking yet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Get right. Be presentable. Talk to women. Talk to women under you. Flirt. Yo, the fat cashier at Walmart. You don't even want her number. Make her laugh a little bit. Practice. You know what I mean? Practice on fat bitches. That's the beauty of not doing this shit live. I can say whatever I want.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot.
You think I'm gonna cut this out?
That is not being cut out.
Yo, bag them up, man. Stretch marks, all that. You don't gotta be you don't gotta knock them. Yo, whatever you need to do, man. Get your work in, get your reps in, do your numbers, be respectable, grow, do your thing, man. You know what I mean? That's all I got.
Yeah. Okay.
Cigars and whiskey. What you got?
I agree. I agree with some of the stuff you said.
All right. Not all.
But I believe it's certain things on both sides.
Okay.
You know, I think women have to work on things, and men definitely have to work on things. But I get what you're saying, because men are the pursuers.
Yeah.
They pursue women. They're supposed to pursue women.
Absolutely. I like that.
And
it's like if there was a study like, lions is losing weight, so niggas is going in the jungle and breaking zebras' legs. Like, you can break a zebra leg, like make it slower so it get easier to get caught. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, nigga, get stronger, get faster. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Eat what you kill, fam.
I get you.
Fuck.
I get you. I get you.
I don't feel sorry for you.
I get you.
Whole ass nigga.
Yeah, I agree with some of the stuff that you said, man. I think some of this stuff is becoming like cliche. Focus on your purpose, all that shit like that. Like,
man.
yo, it is what it
Nigga,
is. What
purpose,
it is,
man.
man.
Get your money up, man.
I think men need to deal with women that are into the same shit or that fuck with them. You know what I mean?
Actual habitats.
Yeah.
You in the gym, plenty of honeys in the gym.
Cause I really truly believe that a lot of these women that some of these men that are probably in this study that they wouldn't date, they're after a different group of men, and that may lead them down a whole different road.
Niggas ain't leave the house in 2 days and thirsting for fucking Bernice Burgos.
All right,
Like,
but
she's 40.
you think about it, like some of these dudes that started some of the biggest companies in the world probably was.
There's a reason why she's still single and she's like 40.
No. All I'm saying, I'm talking about the dudes. Now, her is something different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No shots
but
to her, pardon.
if we're talking about guys that are considered incels and that don't go out and are not that social,
Yeah.
like these may be some of the smartest guys that are out there. You know, they may be the guys that start some of the biggest companies in the world. You never know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I hear you.
I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's getting kind of bleak to me. Where it's like I don't know. I'm getting
Fine.
huh?
Be fine. Put the work in, fellas. Come on, man. Get in the gym, get your haircuts, smell good, make money. You be fine. Stay on your purpose. Stay on your grind.
Everybody ain't about that though, bro.
Be fine.
Everybody not
gym
about
tan
that.
laundry, man. Let's go.
What about the guy that's not into grooming and all that shit?
Well, then
He's
you
not
gonna
into that.
have-
He's not into like, you know, it's different. Everybody's not into the same shit that you're talking about, bro.
I don't know what to tell you, man. But you don't want no bitches. I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to put you on the game. If you don't want to listen to me, keep it, you know what I mean? You can literally spend $100 and go get right. You know what I mean? Go get a nice fragrance, go get a nice shirt, go get a nice, you know what I mean? I seen plenty of dudes struggle in the club and they find love, yo. You know what I mean? Go the wrong ways, go find, but eventually, I see plenty of niggas, yo, outside, you know what I mean? Niggas is looking for the wrong, you know, going about it wrong, bumping their heads at the wrong direction. At the 48 hour, you know what I mean? You find something nice, yo. It might sound like I'm making it seem like women are the prize. Men are ultimately the prize. But you have to make yourself the prize. You know what I'm saying? You have to be fully fleshed. You have to be well-rounded. If you got the money with no swag, it don't even mean nothing. You just fooled. Johnny Depp had a big shitting in his bed. Niggas a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Niggas get done dirty every day. Bill Gates, you know what I mean? What's the Beatles dude? Shorty had a peg leg. Shorty was damn near a pirate and left on them. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas get done dirty by bum bitches. You know what I mean?
You gotta get him out of here. You gotta get him out of here. Go on, Ron. Save him. Save him.
All right.
Save him.
What you got for us before we wrap up?
Cool.
As far as what?
What are we telling the 60% of men that are 30 and younger that feel like porn, social media is enough for them?
Well, listen, man. Man can't tell a man. So, you know, more women for me. If whatever you decide to do. I will say this, man. Whatever it is, companionship, we all need it. Yeah. Okay? No matter who you get it from or, you know, we all need companionship to kind of keep this thing called humanity going, right? So I would not advise you to get lost in the simple pleasures of self, right? But I will say, take the time to find out what you love, what you like to do, what you love to do. I'm going to say like to do, what you love to do. Spend your time doing that, and in the time of you doing that, the rest of life will kind of work itself out. You know what I mean? But you definitely got to always get out there, always get, you know, stay talking to people, stay a part of this thing, right? Because I don't know, man, the way it's going, it's getting spooky. It's getting spooky out there. Absolutely. All right, so young man, young lady, young everybody, keep aiming to make relationships, man. That's all we have in this life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
All right. So, how do we feel about this puncher's chance?
Respectable. maybe my favorite of this year so far.
Really?
I like
says
the
that
one
all
that
the
we
time.
have from California. We had a nice
He says it all
What-
the time.
we had a nice one from Cali 2 weeks ago, like another dark bottle. But and that was like a little
yeah.
smoother,
That was.
but it didn't punch like this. This punches, but it's smooth.
No, yeah.
That one. Yeah.
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 Something chair.
Yeah.
Forgot what
But
it was called.
this is my favorite of the year so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The burning
Burning
chair.
chair, right,
Another
right, right.
one. All right. So Puncher's Chance,
Yeah, man.
Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Pick it up at your local wine spirits.
Yeah, respectable.
45% ABV, 90 proof. Around $40 for a 750 mil. Yeah, I think it's pretty good, man. Pretty good. Again, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Cigars and Whiskey. If you don't follow us on social media, on Instagram, do that at Cigars Whiskey. That's Cigars with an S, Whiskey. Cigars with an S, Whiskey. Also, check us out on YouTube. Cigars, the Ensign Whiskey Podcast. All right. And remember to like, share, and also subscribe. If you missed any of the previous episodes, you can always go back and check us out on the podcasting platforms, Apple, Spotify, etc. You can check us out on all the platforms. And again, remember to like, share, and also subscribe. All right. And if you have a question, a comment, a recommendation, you can shoot us over email. You want to recommend a cigar, a spirit, or even a topic, hit us up at podcast@cigarswhiskey.com. Again, podcast@cigarswhiskey.com. And if you dig the show and you like the content that we're putting out, you can show your support via Cash App. It's the same as the Instagram. Cigars Whiskey. That's Cigars with an S, Whiskey. All right. Corey Cool.
Yes,
Let
sir.
the people know what you got going on.
I'm gonna use the hand too, so they can see what I'm up to. What up? I go by the name Corey Cool. I represent Cool University. I'm on the voice of NCC 90.3 FM every Thursday at a new time now, 9 to 10 p.m. I am prime time right now. I have a podcast. It's called CUNY Radio Podcast. That's CUNI Radio Podcast. I'm talking hip hop, the smarts of the business. That comes out every Monday. What else I got going on? I'm writing, man. I'm out here writing articles. I'm trying to get my write on. Music industry, Long Island. I have 4 running articles there, and hopefully a lot more to come. Over here, I'm gonna just keep pressing record, man. Thanks for having me.
All right. And again, check out the Puncher's Chance Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Also, moves by Michelle Rose. Pick up a Cigars and Whiskey candle.
Yeah.
And again, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Cigars and Whiskey. We will catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.